Acreage numbers are in for both Canada and the US. Crop conditions are what they are here the first week of July. I've got Chuck Penner from LeftField Commodity Research joining me to talk about that and more. We're going to talk about why Chuck's maybe not feeling the love for the pea market right now, and his thoughts around StatsCan adding in all this extra canola from the last couple years. Let's get into it. Episode 83 of the What the Futures podcast. Let's go. Hey folks, welcome to the What the Futures podcast, your quick guide to better farming decisions. All right, folks, welcome into episode 83 of the What the Futures podcast, of course, recorded each and every week in the UPL studio. And it's that time of year, folks. It's time to reach out to your retail, your UPL rep, make sure that you've got everything in for the Grower Rewards program. There's money there to make if you use UPL products this year, this spring, this summer. So make sure you reach out to those folks and get that figured out. I want to talk quickly here. I want to talk about I stole this from Trump. So I want to talk about the big, beautiful put in this episode. Of course, we got Chuck Penner in just a moment. We have Martin Carr joining from Winfield United as well. We're going to talk about Answer Plot. They have a big event going on around Egg in Motion. And of course, Martin, a wealth of information, some great conversation on fungicide as well. So before we get to that though, Egg in Motion is around the corner. I've got these beautiful hats that just came in here the other day. Of course, raising money for the CCAW, that's the Canadian Centre for Agricultural Wellbeing. We've got the Farm Crisis phone number in here, 1-866-FARMS-01. That is the mental health helpline 24/7. $35 donation gets you one of these sweet hats. And I'm not messing around, folks. These things they're beauties, all right? We've got Farmers Rule in the back. Of course, this was designed by 9-year-old Paisley Wender. She farms, her dad farms. She's 9 years old. So, she's helping on the farm as well. But they farm just outside of Beaumont, Alberta. Great design. Again, you can only get these at Egg in Motion, and we only have 500. That's it. These are going to be the hottest hat across the prairies here for the summer of 2025. I guarantee it. All right. Now, I'm going to do an Egg in Motion rundown Tuesday on the live show. All right. My Egg in Motion schedule. I'm there for 3 days. My favorite event is the Crop Marketing Made Cool conference. Like, that's my favorite event now, but this is right there with it. Okay. This is right behind there. I'm going to be at the UPL booth for the entire week. I got to stop with John Deere Tuesday afternoon as well. So that's fun. And we're going to do what we do, right? If you want What the Futures t-shirt, we don't charge you for those. We give them away twice a year. The one time is at Egg in Motion. The second time is at the conference. We have a great design. I'm excited for this year's t-shirt. When we run out, we run out. We got more t-shirts than last year. Great colors. Come say hi. Grab your t-shirt. Throw down $35 or better. I'm not going to hold you back. If you want to throw 40 down there or 50, we're going to raise some money. Keep that crisis mental health crisis line open and available for farmers here across the prairies. We have that going on. We also have, it's a little bit of a Jolly Roger theme, like crop marketing pirate. We've got these flags. All right. They're What the Futures flags. There's no Jolly Roger on the flag, but it's just like my signal out there, your signal. If you fly the flag, that you're a bit of a pirate when it comes to crop marketing. I'm trying to work through what that means in my mind here. But we only have 100 flags, and I'm going to tell you how you can get one of those in next week's episode. There is going to be a code sentence. One gentleman, one person that you're going to have to talk to get this flag. And the reason you want this flag is we're doing a contest this fall, and taking a picture with that flag in it is going to be part of getting your entry for this great trip that we're giving away here. That trip's going to be end of November. So we're going to give that away right after harvest, probably late October. So these flags, this, flying the pirate, crop marketing pirate flag, my version of the Jolly Roger, I guess. And and there's only 100 for Egg in Motion. We also have, well, I'll be at the John Deere booth Tuesday afternoon. We'll have the treasure chest there as well. So we'll have a bunch of swag in there. Come hang out. I'm going to be in the technology tent, and I'm trying to convince them to just let me drive around the tractor. They're bringing in the, which one is it now? It is, I know it's got 710 in it. Here we go. Yvonne's got my notes in here. The 9RX 710. I'm trying to convince them just to let me drive around with that thing for 3 days, but we're still in negotiations. And then just park it at the farm when we're done. But I'll be at the John Deere booth Tuesday afternoon. And then, so UPL, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We have the big What the Future's tent in there as well. You can't miss us. Thursday, I'm just going to be more like roaming around. So if you want to get together and do something crazy on Thursday, let me know. Hit me up, Ryan at whatthefuturespodcast.ca. Let's get together Thursday at Egg in Motion, and let's have some fun. So, of course, Chuck Penner's coming up shortly. Martin Carr is going to be here in just a moment. 2 more housekeeping things. Number 1, go to YouTube and hit the subscribe button for me, if you don't mind. It's the best way for you to support the show is by going and subscribing on YouTube or on your favorite podcast platform, and also sharing it with a buddy. Share it with your farming buddies out there. Throw it out to them. Let them decide for themselves if they want to tune in each and every Friday, and of course Tuesdays on the live show. So I appreciate that. The last thing, I did this last July as well, but the care home where my grandpa went, unfortunately, my grandma Denise, passed away 2008, I believe 2008. And so grandpa was on the farm for many years before moving off the farm. And anyways, his big concern was about food and cooking and going to a place that had a great room for him and great food and you know how important it is, right? And coming off the farm into town, again, not a big town, but you're coming off the farm. It was a concern. And so he landed at the Bellevue Care Home, which is our local seniors complex, and they're doing a kitchen fundraiser. Now, this fundraiser kind of stalled out a couple of years ago. And so last year I thought, well, let's kick this thing in the rear and let's get it going. And I managed to fundraise about 13 grand, giving away a couple of Lunchbox Crew memberships. We ended up doing an auction. We had a winner. Steven was the winner. He kicked his money over to the care home, and then Keith was right there with him. I said, "Hey, Keith, if you kick that money over, well, you're in too." I ended up getting to a total of 13 grand. We're doing it again. Okay, so RyanDenny.ca is the website. You can go and check out the details. But we're auctioning off a Lunchbox Crew membership, which can't buy them right now. So if you're looking to get in, that's one way, the only way. We have a ticket to the Crop Marketing Made Cool conference, and I'm going to throw a hotel in with it. Okay. You win this ticket, I'll pay your hotel room at the Temple Spa, whatever that is. And then the other one in there is, I'm going to do a little crop marketing consulting as well. If Lunchbox Crew is just not enough, if you want someone to create your crop marketing plan and help you create that and start executing, we've got that available as well. So we're going to do some Zoom calls. We're also going to do an in-person meeting here as well. And Yvonne said, well, Ryan, what happens if somebody in Manitoba wins? I know where the airport is, folks. I can jump on an airplane and I can come say hi. So yeah, if you're in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, BC, go for it. I'll make sure that I get out to your farm and we get this crop marketing plan going for you. All right, that's it for housekeeping. Now let's keep moving along here. Now the markets are getting, the canola market's exciting here once again. And that we had the wind taken out of our sails on Friday, Trump saying, hey, I'm not going to do, I'm ending all trade talks until Canada removes some of these taxes. The market sinks. Before that, I feel like the market got a little bit bored with the headlines, the 45Z stuff, crop conditions across the prairies. I kind of got a little bit bored of that. And then away we went on Sunday. Carney came out and said, oh yeah, we're going to scrap this technology tax. And the market popped up. Conditions turn hot. Maybe there's some of that now supporting this market as well. And we're challenging some of the highs from just a few weeks back. Now, I look at this market setup and I'm not nervous about it yet. And I think the one reason being is that, I talk to farmers from all over the place, and I'll get, Ryan, this is the best crop that I've ever seen at this time of year, to Ryan, crop insurance is coming out. I just don't know what level yet. So, there's always that variability out there, but it seems to be pretty extreme here this year, or maybe a bit more in both camps or something like that. It's like one or the other, feast or famine out there. But I was thinking, like, if you were sitting here, and I've been part of some conversations where farms are increasing hail coverage, making plans for fall, getting a plan in place here for the harvest run, and even looking at equipment, and is there any upgrades that need to happen there, any changes, things like that. And so imagine sitting there and in July and looking at your crop and increasing your yield while also seeing a market rally. Like that's perfection, right? And so, often the markets will find a high in the spring or early summer. Sometimes you get two cracks at it. But what I want to say here, folks, is that if $750 November canola, if $780, $800 November canola, if it gets there, if that is just something that you can't let pass you by, like if you farmed in 2024, lost some money, and we're like, I want to make that up, and $800 futures are going to do that for me, there's a path here to protect your margin in the next days and weeks. Like, you could sit here in a couple days and say, you know what? I can't afford to not lock this all in at 750. What can I do here? How can I do this without taking on the risk of delivering this? Of course, if you have a broker involved, reach out to them. They'll give you the strategies. But if you don't, you could phone a couple companies out there and do a no price established put option. They probably have different names for them, but essentially it's a put option with no basis and no futures. You basically have your strike. And if you don't produce that crop, you just pay back the premium. So if you bought a put for $40 a ton, you just pay that back. And that's it. If you produce the bushels, though, you have to deliver them, right? Yeah, there's a contract there. But if you don't, it's one way to lock in a floor and give yourself, number one, some potential upside in the futures if it continues to rally, but also limits your risk if you can't deliver, if you can't physically harvest it and deliver it. Now, I encourage you to reach out to Bungie, reach out to Cargill, reach out to Viterra, and ask them, what the heck is this guy talking about? And see what they come back to you with. You'll be surprised. Back in, was it 2022? I remember going to my dad and my brother and my uncle and my father-in-law and anyone who would listen and say, hey, we can lock in next year's crop. I think the strike was 1,000, no basis, no futures, no delivery risk. We could lock it all in at 1,000, call it good. And we didn't, should have, we didn't, but it's out there. And for me, like, if you're sitting here saying, man, I can't turn this away, like I need to figure this out, you got some work to do here. You got some phone calls to make. You got some, get your pen and paper out here, do a little scratching, figure out your strategy. But there's a path here to lock in this rally, leave your futures upside open, but also not have that delivery risk. Okay. I'm calling it the big, beautiful put because not that I want to put all my eggs in one basket, but to me, it's an interesting setup for this market. And it wouldn't surprise me if the high is established here shortly, or maybe it already has been, and that you can execute this. So on wheat, not exciting. Soybeans, corn, not exciting there either. But canola, that's the one to look at. Can't do this on a specialty crop or an unhedgeable crop, but it's there in canola, and maybe it'll be there in wheat this summer. Yeah, we'll see. As of recording, we'd had a heck of a good day today, Minneapolis spring wheat, but I want more. I want more out of you, wheat market. Let's go. But it's there for canola. And so talking to a farm today, we were just looking at, his first sales being done, call it 20% or whatever it was, 25%. And, you put some there at 14.50, 15. And then, looking at locking this in using this put strategy, and his average price, it was going, in the high 16s, and on a farm where yield is increasing right now. So again, I don't know. I think there's something there, something to think about. And if you want to jump on board, we haven't made any t-shirts yet with the big, beautiful put, but if it works out, we'll definitely make some t-shirts in the future. I would say, folks, from a marketing perspective, I'm going to talk about this at Ag in Motion. They're giving me a microphone at Ag in Motion, or I'm going to just talk really loud, but I'm going to do a little presentation, and I'm going to just talk about how, your crop marketing plan, you set up your plan. And for me, there's strikes involved, there's dates involved. There's also the ability, though, to pivot and to make adjustments throughout the growing season. I'm on record on this show saying, hey, we weren't getting any rain at all. We're in mid-June. We bought call options. We're protecting some sales that we made, protecting against a buyout. We have some of those running right now. I'm not saying we didn't buy them perfect, guys. I didn't buy them on the exact dip, and I didn't sell them at the exact high, but we got a little action going in those, and we bought those because we were worried about, the buyout and the production side. Now we see rains happening. Our crops are getting better. And so we're still not at the point where we want to make physical sales. Put options are definitely our friendlier strategy right now. We're doing some of that here as well. And then, as we get comfortable selling, then we may unwind some of those calls, selling physical. We may do a bit of physical and do some puts, but it can evolve and it can change. What I want to say here in my crop marketing plan is chatting with a Lunchbox crew member this week and just saying, like, man, we caught a little bit of this done. We were aggressive on our feed barley. Got some oats done, got some flax done. But it just seems like we didn't get a lot done, that once we got to this dry end of May and into June, we just couldn't do much. And I just realized that crop marketing plans, they do pivot and evolve. And even though I want to be 30% sold by a certain date, it doesn't always happen that way. And you have to be okay with that. I'm not saying you just sit on your hands. I'm saying we have a plan, but we're willing to work the plan, tweak the plan, and you're still looking to execute the plan. All right. Okay. Let's get into it now here. Let's bring in Martin with Winfield United. And then right after that, we will have Chuck Pinner. Let's go. All right, Martin, thanks for joining me here on the What the Futures podcast this week. Of course, Martin joining us. He's with Winfield United. So welcome into What the Futures, Martin. How's your week going?
It's great. Well, thank you for having me. And week's been going good. It's already Wednesday, so it's a short week.
Yeah, it is already Wednesday. I can't believe. Yeah. So Martin, we've got some cropland canola on our farm here for the first time this year. We're keeping a close eye on it. If there's one field that's getting like a little love from the camera and from me instructing my brother, go take pictures of this, take a video of this. This is the field that's getting it. It's getting a little love on the camera side right now. We've got cropland in this year. We've had north of Saskatoon. We've had a challenging growing season, but it's turning here a little bit. We finally have some moisture, and we finally have caught some rains the second half of June. So thankful for that. So I appreciate you jumping on the show. When we were chatting with your team, I was saying, who could I have, join me here leading into Ag in Motion? Who's available? And they said, we want Martin to get on that show with you, but he's the busiest guy in the company. So thanks for making the time.
Hey, I appreciate you having me, and absolutely happy to be here.
So Martin, just give us just a brief. What do you do? What do you do over at Winfield?
Yeah. So, especially this time of year, I guess what keeps me busy, or why I'm busy right now, is a lot around our answer plot. So, that's our where we do a lot of our research and a lot of our touring in Western Canada. We have one answer plot location. The answer plot program in the U.S. is a large institution. They've had, each year they'll have 120, 130 research sites. Right. It's a huge program with some very very large statistical numbers they can put behind any project they do. Obviously, in Canada, we not scaled to that degree. But we do have one really cool site, and that is in east of Saskatoon. It's about 15 minutes east of Saskatoon on just off of Highway 16 there by Kalonsay. Yeah. And it's the types of things that we're doing out there. We do have canola hybrid trials. So that cropland canola you were just talking about. Every year we look at different experimental lines. So I mean, this year alone, I'm looking at there's 8 different Liberty Link experimentals, as well as some Optimum Gly and some TrueFlex, stuff like that, right? So we're always looking at different products that could be the next thing in a cropland bag. So that's one thing that we do a lot of work and testing out there. And we kind of have two big canola trials out there. The first one is more of your very standard canola performance trial. The other one that's kind of interesting, and as of today, it looks identical, but what it is, it's actually our shatter trial. So we do want to test our things that the genetics that are going into a cropland bag. We want to see how do they stack up against some of the industry leading products in that market space, and see how good is this to straight cut? How does it hold up? We desiccate it, leave it for 6 weeks, put the shatter trays down, and actually weigh it off to see how much was lost in those trays. And obviously compare the yield as well. So I mean that's some of the stuff we do out there, as well as a lot of demonstrations. So demonstrations, I mean, they haven't even been sprayed yet. They'll get sprayed here in the next 3 to 5 days. And then we can actually show that during the tour, right? So we can show how different modes of action work. We can show how maybe some different adjuvants might play a role in herbicide efficacies, right? So that's a lot of the stuff that will keep me busy here, probably for the next week or so as we lead up to the show. Yeah.
All right. So answer plot. So you said something about a tour there. What do we got going on from a tour perspective? How does that look?
Yeah. So what we have, during that week of Ag Emotion on that Tuesday, we do have a tour that basically goes through the morning there. So there's like I said, there's those there's four manufacturers that are present. They kind of have their own little space at that site. So that's Corteva, Adama, UPL, and New Farm.
And is this for like retail level customers, or is there farmers that attend as well?
Yeah, so absolutely, our key focus is retail agronomists, retail salespeople would definitely be the bulk of the audience. But definitely we do welcome farmers to come as well, right? So that's something if you're interested in, let me know. That's something we could. If you're in town, I mean, a lot of people do come to the Ag Emotion show, right? So if that's something that it's just the other side of Saskatoon, can definitely hook you up to the tour.
Awesome. All right, sounds good. Now you cover Western Canada. You got a Western Canadian flavor of what's going on across the prairies. Yeah. For the 25 growing season, is there anything that kind of stood out for you so far?
Yeah. Well, so as I'm sure you've experienced as well, right? I mean, this one has had its challenges thus far. Mm-hmm. It's nearly a little bit like 5 years ago when we had that very dry start, and then the rain started to come a little bit, right? So hopefully it continues. Hopefully it wasn't a blip in the radar. But the things have, from what I've seen in some of my travels, things look much better now than they did 2 weeks ago. I think a couple of weeks ago things were starting to look quite serious, and we're looking quite challenging. A lot of this moisture did come in time that it seems like it's perked up a large amount of area, right? Never gonna say every area, but it does seem there's optimism in a lot more guys, and I would say that seems to be bit of a generic brush over a fair amount of area. So definitely something I've noticed there. I mean, out at our site, out at Answerplot, one thing that I could say I've noticed, or it was a little different this year than actually I'll say probably the last 4 or 5 years, is some of the insect pressure. And one of the insects that seems to be a little bit different this year was around flea beetles.
Okay.
And just seemed like that flea beetle population came a little bit later than had been in previous years. So it was nice that the canola was able to get to a reasonable size before it was just starting to get chewed, right? So didn't seem like there was as many of those yellow striped, especially from that early side of things. It was more of the that black crucifer flea beetle, and it was a little bit later. So the amount of damage that we were getting out at that site, for sure, definitely less so. So and from a widespreadness of that, I mean, definitely heard of flea beetle spraying this year, right? It wasn't like it was a non-issue. But I mean, hopefully that maybe that'd be nice if that trend does continue. Hopefully it wasn't just a 1-year blip.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would say it was a little quieter on what I was hearing as well. But again, talking about a large area, there's going to be some differences in there for sure.
Absolutely.
So Martin, obviously this year, dry start for many, then the moisture kind of coming in here the last half of June. My weather partners over at BAM Weather, they've got a bit of a mixed precipitation forecast, some unsettled weather continuing for the first half of July. From a fungicide perspective, how would you tackle this environment?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it could be disease by disease environment, right? I mean, there's certain ones are more obvious that they're going to be a problem, and there's other ones where you're spraying them purely on some speculation and using the weather forecast to determine, right? But think of things, whether it's a fusarium head blight or a sclerotinia or something like that. I mean, you're really relying on some trends and some bit of forecasting to tell whether it's going to be a problem. Because I mean, by the time you see it, it's far too late, right? Versus a leaf disease, I mean, you can see that coming up the plant a little bit, right? So those ones that are you've got to put on, and you're using it as essentially insurance, right? You're putting it on, then you're insuring your crop that you're mitigating this risk here. So that's when I think about that, you're putting this fungicide on. Yeah, it purely depends on how bad the infection could be, right? Not necessarily is for sure, but it could be. So I mean, when you're spraying it, there's lots of things we got to consider. Obviously, water volume's a big one. The droplet size, where is it all going, and is it actually getting to the target? And then once it's there, what is it doing? So I know that's something we spend a lot of time on at spray clinics is a lot around deposition, droplet size, all those kinds of things, right? If you're trying to get fungicide down deep into a canopy, right? Because when you think about, let's just talk sclerotinia for a second. I mean, you want to try and hit the petals, but you also want to try and make sure you're protecting some of that leaf down below, because where those petals are landing, if there's fungicide on those leaves already, it does help prevent that infection from growing, right? So, a lot of our adjuvant technology, we do talk about helping with some of that, right? Getting that fungicide down into the canopy, and making sure that diseases aren't present. And also, if you got the right surfactant package in there, right? Because you want to make sure those droplets are landing, sticking, spreading, and not bouncing off, rolling off, all those kinds of things. And droplet size, right? If you've got too coarse of droplets, I mean, the coarser ones are nice because they'll fall down, but also you just committed a lot more volume per droplet. You might run out of droplets, right? So making sure you got the right droplet size, not too coarse, not too fine, kind of that Goldilocks droplet pattern, as well as enough of them. So making sure you're not skimping on the water volume.
You guys spend a fair amount of time and energy and research on this, right? Like in the winter, you guys are doing these spray clinics as well, like really focusing in on on this. It's fascinating for me, a crop marketing guy, to see when I go to an event and see the spray setup that Winfield has. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Might be a bit more of a nerd thing for me, but it's not what I expect. And then I see you guys spend a lot of energy on that. So that's really, really cool. One thing that I'll highlight there that stands out for me is you said, ensuring that crop, and, folks, reach out to your local retail, your local crop marketing experts as well. But I just want to share, the last day or so, I've been a part of some conversations where some farms have increased their budgeted yields on their farm. They have made a phone call to increase their hail insurance. The market, if canola specifically, the canola market, as we're us recording this, let's not jinx it, but, we gained over $25 a ton today, over 50 cents a bushel. We are seeing profit enter this canola market in a big way. And this to me is part of that conversation. Well, getting all those bushels to sell at these high prices and making sure that Mother Nature doesn't knock the wind out of your sails with the big white combine. So anyways, Martin, great points there, and appreciate the discussion around fungicide. Thanks again, Martin. I appreciate it.
Right on. Thanks for having me.
Always good to have a new guest on the show here. And of course, agronomy, not my strength. So good to have guys like Martin here with Winfield United joining us. And, our cropland canola, we'll keep you guys in the loop on how things progress out there. But it's looking a little better now that we've had some rain as well. Just real interesting year on the farm from a rain perspective. All right, positive moment for the week. I got two little stories here. Well, first, when I turned 40 years old, and there's no Corvette in the driveway yet. I have not booked any plastic surgery or anything at this time. Contemplating a hair. I don't know if it's still called a hair plug. Contemplating that, guys. If I took this off, you'd see why. Haven't booked it yet. But turning 40. Someone told me here, we're at the parade the other day, and she said, growing old is a privilege. I wouldn't call myself old yet, but 40 is older, and I am getting those phantom injuries now. So apparently, I got more of that to look forward to. But, my 40th birthday, we ended up, we spent our first night away from the kids. I've been away, or Chantel's been away. But it was our first night away from the kids. Chantel got us a boutique hotel on White Ave. Ended up going to a couple of restaurants and bars and doing some shopping on White Ave in Edmonton, and just had a great time. And everyone survived. Kids survived. We survived. It was emotional being away from the kids for the first time, but we all survived. I turned 40, and nothing has really changed a whole bunch. So so it's good. 40 is good. I'm looking forward to this, what everyone tells me is this new decade. All right. My second positive moment here for the week is just a story about our almost 5-year-old here, Willa. So Chantel, they go to the library this week, and they get out. And so we park underground, and all you have to do, parking is free, but you have to register your plate, okay? You basically type it in. It takes 30 seconds. You're good to go. Chantel decides not to do this. She forgets. So they come out the library, and there's a ticket on the windshield. Chantel's a little bit upset about the ticket. It's a $60 ticket, right? It's a parking ticket. It's not bad. Well, Willa, she'll be 5 in September. She says, well, we can't tell Dad. And Chantel's like, no, we can tell Dad. I tell Dad everything. She's like, no, give me that ticket, Mom. I'm going to take care of it, and we're not going to tell Dad. So Chantel's like, well, what are you going to do with the ticket, Willa? What are you going to do with it? She says, I'm going to take it up to my room. I'm going to hide it, and it's just going to go away. Then the topic came up about the police showing up at our door looking for this ticket. And Willa said, don't worry about it, Mom. I got it. It will be well hidden. They'll never find it. And in her sweet, little 5-year-old mind here, just tucking that ticket away, it makes it go away. And I thought that was just a really funny story this week. So we might consult a lawyer, but I think we're probably going to pay it. And hopefully the cops don't show up at our door anytime soon. Otherwise, Willa's going to be scrambling to hide that parking ticket that she'll tell God. So, all right. One last one as well. Just while I got you here is, I just kind of thought of this last minute, but, my dad had a surgery this week and it went well. He's recovering well. It's not something that, that we have to be concerned about. It would be fairly minor surgery overall, but there's a process of going into surgery involving sensitive things, right? And you just, that they do this, dozens of times a day and it should be okay. But it's good to get through it and to see that it went well. He's recovering. So shout out to my dad who's on the IR here, halfway through the growing season. But, with the right, care and recovery, if mom takes good care of him, he'll be ready to rock and roll for harvest time. No problem. So good on you, Dad, and, speedy recovery over there. All right. That's it for positive moments for this week. All right, folks. I want to shed a little bit more light here on Egg in Motion. I'm gonna be at the John Deere booth Tuesday, July 15th for the afternoon. I'd say come around, shortly after 2. I'll be there. I'm gonna have the treasure chest full of swag to give away. Maybe some entries into some trip contests we got coming later on here this fall. Some flags, some t-shirts, all sorts of good stuff to give away there. I'm going to be in the technology tent. If you want to learn about the latest precision upgrades, if you want to talk to the JD Link folks about the new Starlink agreement and what that looks like for connectivity on your farm, that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to stay in the shade there. But I'm also going to try to get as many pictures as possible in front of the 9 RX 710. And then, of course, they've got a couple of beautiful combines down at the show as well. So you'll catch me in front of the green paint, of course, big John Deere farm, and looking forward to spending some time with them at Egg in Motion. All right, folks, I got Chuck Penner here with LeftField Commodity Research joining me once again on the What the Futures podcast. Chuck, welcome back to the show. It's early July. How's the summer going for you?
Well, it's hot and dry, but that's no surprise. Actually, out east, it's looking pretty good still. There's still some reserves of moisture there, and so it'll be able to handle this for a little while anyway. But it's always nice. It would be nice. Actually, we did get a 1/4 of an inch last night, so okay. Yeah, every little bit helps.
I try not to live in a bubble, but I do. And in this week in Alberta, it's going to 19 degrees Celsius because I'm going camping. So, right, it's going to 19 because we definitely didn't book a site around a splash park and expect 25-degree weather. Anyway, I'll digress. But that's not the case for the prairies. It seems like it'll be warmer everywhere else. What do you think on crop conditions right now? Where are you at here?
It's almost like Groundhog Year this year. Like in some ways, it's shaping up that way, especially for the guys down south. It's been, how many years? I feel those guys have just suffered for the last few years. So again, some optimism early on, and then it just turns hot and dry, and you see those kind of things just go downhill. And talking to someone from Montana this morning, and out there, they're talking about they're not even going to take some of the stuff, not even going to take to harvest. They already know that.
Really?
So it's pretty wicked down there. And so, that has some impacts. I was looking at Montana crop condition, like their USDA ratings and stuff like that, and things like mustard ratings in Montana. Surprise, surprise. There's not many people looking at those ratings from USDA, but I do. And like they're where they were in 21. Like it's really wicked.
So, like, do you think that we're setting up for impact on some of the specialty crops, some of the small acre crops here, where conditions can lead to a little bit of price gain? Or are we not quite there yet?
I don't know that we're quite there yet. I mean, for some of them, we're also still going to be carrying over some decent old crop supplies.
Right.
So that'll buffer it to some degree. But it really is the crops that are focused on that area down south. So even when you talk about lentils, again, groundhog year, green lentils are further south and southwest and so on. And those are the ones that are going to take the hit again this year. Whereas red lentils last year, more in the central areas, had some really good yields. And so far, I mean, fingers crossed, all that kind of stuff. The red lentils are still looking okay. In fact, they might have some worries about disease issues or things like that. So in some ways, it's kind of shaping up like last year again. So, I mean, we could talk about the acreage numbers and all of that kind of stuff because there's some things in there too. But
let's. So I'll say just on conditions here, like what's been kind of weird, like for our farm, like we're not a pretty standard size farm in Saskatchewan. We're not spread out super crazy wide, but the amount of rain, the difference in rain totals on the farm is insane this year. It's like one area there's like, we're at the highest on the farm, it's just over 3 inches. And that all happened the second half of June, basically. But like we have early seeded fields, wheat fields that have had like 1.5 inches of rain on it that look just horrible. And then we have some later seeded fields or some canola fields with three and a bit on it, and they look phenomenal. But it's insane how it just seems like the rain events have been really small or like small in size. I don't know.
Yeah, most of them have been. There was one a week or so ago. It looked like a decent sized system going through, but even within that, clearly a big variation from one area to the other.
Like north of Edmonton here, north of Highway 16, I see one area, Vegreville, things look phenomenal. And you just go a little bit north of the river there, and they haven't barely had anything yet for rain. Like, it's just insane. Yeah. But, as I look at prairies as a whole, the situation improved. It's improved the second half of June. Things got better. There is, more hope, more discussion around fungicide, more discussion around buying more hail insurance. There's more of that going on. Not for everybody, but it's gotten better for the prairies. Yeah,
the big difference, I would say, like from 21, which was kind of this epic drought, but that was like almost every acre from east to west and north to south was affected by that. And this year there are some really good looking areas, and then there's really really bad areas. So those are going to offset each other to some degree, and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Oh, my crop marketing, you expect during this time of year where you're kind of moving sales along and you're okay, a little rally and sell something and you're kind of working. And here it feels like 21 where I'm like, oh, all right, what am I going to talk about right now? Like what are we going to do here? Like, it's been one of those weird years. So anyways, let's talk acreage numbers here a little bit. Last thing on weather. So I've got my long range forecast from BAM Weather. It's not impressive. It does not help me sleep at night. I think the first half of July, there's opportunity, but I don't like the setup of the long range. And so I'm just being a cautious marketer here as we see what develops. Anyways, moving over to acreage numbers, we got the StatsCan last week. I was told, Chuck, that you were the one who went and put all that canola back in those past years, that you went and scratched that in. But we got the StatsCan, and then also earlier this week, we got the USDA numbers. Like, that's a whole bunch of data and lots of numbers, but is there anything that stands out clear?
Well, on the canola side, let's get that out of the way
rumor
first.
Squash.
If I would have been responsible for that, I probably would have added about another 1 million tons. Like, seriously, like they're still way too low. And the thing is like we figure out, okay, well, what are average yields and things like that? Every time they bump up that production estimate, the average yield goes higher because it's calculated based on all of that, right? So what's an average yield these days? And so all of those kind of things. But yeah, they added about 1.6 million tons, give or take, for the last couple of years, and it's still way too low. that doesn't mean that we're awash in canola by any means. And
We're
even our outlook for next year, it's going to be really tight again. So
Yeah.
we're still pretty friendly toward it, but it's just trying to be a little bit more realistic and see what those numbers are. I was talking to my partner John earlier today, and he was talking about his export forecast for next year. And it's down considerably just because of supplies will be limited, not because demand is a problem, but because supplies are going to be constraining that. So, the crushers will crush their 12 million, give or take, tons, and, the rest will be available for export. So it's not like a bearish, like we're not trying to submarine the canola market. It's pretty tight and looking pretty positive.
That's the important thing here. That's the important thing is that, we went, let's go add some stuff. But at the end of the day, you talk to buyers here in July about what's happening. I see specials popping up everywhere, not filling very quickly. Like we're on fumes. And then you look at, like you said with John, exports might be down, but what supply will we have? And it's just, crushers are feeling better now. We'll talk about biofuel policy in a second, but we got more crush capacity on board. Decent margins, I would say, for now, and away we go.
Yeah, so our canola acreage number was it was basically bang on our guess, and let's be honest, everybody's numbers are guesses. But our guess was right around where StatsCan came in, so that wasn't an issue. If I have to talk about some other surprised that pea acreage held up the way that it did. I think we overthought that. I overthought that issue about tariffs and all that kind of stuff far too much. So I had stripped out about 400,000 or 500,000 acres out of the total, and I was wrong. So that's fine. And so that was one. Barley acres, we thought, they're probably going to be up from last year, but StatsCan actually trimmed a little bit more out of that. So those were a couple of surprises. Flax acres up more than we thought we had. We were higher, but they were even a little bit higher than where we were. So that was, that's a good news story. So those, on that side, that was kind of, on the Canadian side of the border, that was kind of interesting.
Like the peas caught me offside as well. And then I went and drove from my house to central Alberta, and I didn't see one pea field on my drive. And I didn't take the QE2. I took a side road, and I was like, oh yeah, nobody planted peas this year. Like there's not a pea field on this drive. And then, they did, just not on, Highway 21 or whatever highway I was on.
Yeah. We'll see. And StatsCan won't revise those numbers. Like even in December, I doubt that they would revise them. So
I don't know why they would.
That's
no point.
That's what we're stuck with.
There's no point on revising them. They'll deal with it later, another way. Okay, flax acre numbers. Is it a scary number? Should flax growers be aware, concerned?
No, they shouldn't be scared. It's going to be it's up, and so we will have larger supplies. No, I shouldn't say that because we're carrying over almost none. So our supply levels aren't actually going to change that much, even with bigger acreage. The one thing that I noticed though too is the USDA showed U.S. flax acreage up considerably. So, they might be a little less interested, but I think Europe will still be really strong buyers. Prices there are still sky high. So, so I think we're in a fairly balanced, fairly well balanced flax market. Probably not $25 flax market, but, maybe $18 to $20 market, something like that.
Okay. Well, I could live with that. What else on the acreage number? What about when you looked at the U.S. numbers? It was a snoozer of a report, but anything kind of stand out in the specialty crops or those smaller acre crops? Yeah.
Again, I don't even look at the corn and soybean numbers, to be honest, because there's a million people talking about that, so I don't need to. But yeah, they dropped their lentil acreage number. It's still more than last year. But again, those are grown in that northwest Montana area or northwest North Dakota and northeast Montana. And it's in rough shape there. So the acres may not matter that much. On peas, earlier they had shown a decline in acreage. Now they're up to the highest in maybe 5 years or so. So those ones are up. Mustard acreage, they dropped a little bit. Again, those yields are going to be in really bad shape. Durham was up a little bit, and that was a little unexpected. So, but again, those are in the really, really tough areas of the northern plains there. So,
sure,
the acres may be the smallest concern or the smallest issue in that whole thing.
I've had a lot of questions about oats lately. We saw obviously a little increase in acres in Western Canada, or in Canada, I should say. What did you say out of the U.S. for oat acres? Anything scary or stand out on that one?
I think they showed fairly steady seeded area, but the USDA already puts out a harvested acreage, and I don't know how they figure that now. But they showed that coming down a certain amount, and their stocks numbers, their June 1st stocks numbers were lower as well. So I think we could see a little bit firmer demand from the U.S. for our oats, because it has been really soft the last couple of years. So I think that's going to, and with a little bit of an acreage increase, we thought oat acres might be up even a bit more. But, I think that market is going to stay fairly well balanced or even firm up a little bit. I mean, the oat growing belt in Western Canada has been the areas that have had some decent rains in the last, 2-3 weeks or stuff like that. So maybe those yields will come around a bit too.
Yeah, a lot of those oat crops were not looking good off the hop, but they're improving. All right. I've been talking oats lately, and you said soft. I call the market boring, and I would say that it will continue.
See, I'm using the technical term, Ryan.
I'm using the what the futures term, the July vacation mode what the futures term.
It is. It is boring. You're right.
Okay, so we had a dark winter here of crop marketing. We had some geopolitical stuff that was kind of scary. I don't want to rehash all the scary stuff, but we roll into spring, a little bit of sunshine here for us also from a market stance. We're rolling here into July. We've got some updates on some biofuel policy out of the U.S. Have you dived into the latest here on 45Z or the big, beautiful bill? Is there anything there that is giving us some optimism here for canola?
Well, I think so. I think as that bill or the 45Z thing moves through, from the different, whatever in the legislatures in the U.S., I think as it's getting closer to the finish line, it's looking more positive again. It's never a sure thing, but the idea that Canadian feedstocks would qualify, I think that's probably one of the reasons why canola was up today. It was closed yesterday. I wasn't surprised at all to see it up strongly this morning and for the whole trading session, just because it was catching up to that news. So I think that is really positive. I mean, we can still only crush 12 million tons. And the U.S., their acreage number, they actually lowered their own canola acreage number. So that's friendly as well, too. So last year, for example, they grew about as much as they crushed. This year, it'd probably be down a little bit. Production will be down. So then they will need to import a little bit more. So that's, again, one more friendly signal than thing. But in terms of North American crush, we're not going to do that much more, but that demand is probably more inelastic. It's stronger demand than, for example, trying to sell canola oil into Asia or things like that. So again, positive for crush margins, which in theory should be positive for seed prices as well too.
And then last time you were on the show, we talked about some trade happening to some other areas as well, a little bit of business going to some other countries. So add that in and I mean, we would prefer to sell most of it into the U.S. because that is the strongest demand. And if we could convince our prime minister to offer up supply management, maybe we'd get even better access. I don't know.
Oops. Shouldn't have said that online.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if that gets edited out of the show, Chuck. But no, just kidding. I wonder what would transpire with that. I have to think about that a bit more.
Shake my head at that.
So I have not seen a lot of price action on pulses lately, but I was chatting with my friend Brittany went from All Bushel, or you know Brittany very well. And she said, "Hey, have you talked to Chuck about peas lately?" And I said, "No, but I'm actually going to I'm going to record with him later today." And she said, "Well, ask him about peas because there's some quiet optimism in that market." What's she talking about here, Chuck? What do you got for me?
Maybe it's quieter than even I know. I don't know.
Well, you got to come up with something now. Yeah.
Well, again, we were looking at lower acres, and so that was looking positive, or looked like it would be positive for that. We are still shipping peas to China. So even with 100% tariffs, they have a way of, if if they import the peas and then the protein is exported right away, they've got a workaround for that kind of thing, right? Okay. So that was the huge cloud on the pea outlook. And then of course India still has zero tariffs, although India that demand is really, really quiet. Right. So I don't expect miracles from that. To be honest, though, if this new acreage number is close to real, and you drove down the highway and didn't see any, and others have kind of said the same thing. But if that number were real, we could be setting up for some pretty heavy supplies actually of peas. Right now bids are quiet because that's what they do at this time of year. It's as you know, we're kind of fanatical about seasonals and things like that. And so why are yellow pea bids kind of sideways to a little bit softer? The spot green pea bids are going to be they're converging toward old crop or new crop levels, and that type of thing. Red lentil bids heading south. That's what they do at this time of year. And so the short term forecast is lower prices, pretty clear. But then it's how much response do we get after harvest, and that's of course the more important part. And the pea market is going to be, I think it's going to struggle, to be honest. Maybe the last time I talked to Britt, maybe I gave her more room for optimism. But these acreage numbers kind of make me uneasy. I don't quite believe them, but what if they're close to reality? We could be. I don't think we'll get as strong Indian demand as we did last year. And China,
you did say with India that, it would be a later maybe, into next year. If it did wake up, wasn't necessarily going to be this fall. We're going to need some time because they had heavy supply. So, I know on our farm, our peas are like 10 inches tall, and, they'll surprise you. But we're going to need a lot of good things to happen here for that crop. So it's, I'm not sure how many other peas are in the same shape, but, you never know. Sometimes those short crops, give you a pleasant surprise on the yield monitor. So, all right. What else are we missing here, Chuck? We've covered a lot of different things here already today. Last year at this time, people are driving down the highway saying, this crop in 24 is going to be the biggest crop ever. And then that changed. Where are you at here for the summer?
Well, people were driving down the highway last year and looking at the canola crops and thinking they were larger. And then StatsCan's estimates kind of went, no. And then, maybe as they went higher. Just to be, whatever, when I look at the acre or the production estimates and stuff like that over the last bunch of years, and particularly for canola, it's easier to figure out that we've missed the canola production number, because where it's all going. It's either getting crushed or exported. And so you have a pretty good idea, how much is in elevators and all of that kind of stuff. shouldn't be a whole lot of mystery to that. But for other crops, it's quite possible. But what I was thinking this week as I was looking at that and, thinking to myself, we probably should put more or attach more credibility to those model-based estimates in August and September, because they're actually closer to the reality than the survey-based estimates, which kind of tells you which way farmers lean on when they're giving StatsCan those answers, right? And whatever. I'm not gonna get too stressed about it, but maybe those September model-based things are actually not too bad. So for an old geezer like me, that's hard to admit.
It's like you're mixing in some technology, maybe some AI in there too, Chuck. And
I'm going to start using Chat GPT, Ryan.
That's how I answer most questions now. When a farmer asks me a hard question,
maybe some new tricks.
I put it in there. Yep. Yeah, it provides phenomenal answers. Yeah. Phenomenal. So,
although I asked it to write a mustard commentary just for kicks, just to see what it would do. And it was completely wrong. I was using prices from 2 years ago and whatever. So I'm not going to use it to write my reports, maybe proofread
Not
them.
yet. Not yet. Yeah. All that means, Chuck, is that your stuff, you have to give it to Chat GPT so that they can learn from it. And you actually might be the problem here. If you fed it to that machine over there, in next year, it could be doing amazing reports. So
right.
Yeah, you just got to give it a chance.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you going to be on the road at all this summer? You got anything lined up or any fancy vacation plans?
No, we did our traveling earlier, and actually last week I was just down in Nicaragua for a couple of days.
Okay.
But no, we don't have anything scheduled. But the speaking things for the winter are starting to already show up. So yeah.
Okay. Yep. Good stuff, Chuck. All right. Well, thanks for your time. Have a great month of July, and we'll check in sometime here in August and see how we're shaping up for harvest.
Okay. Sounds good, Ryan.
Take care.
Take care.
All right, folks. Of course, Chuck Penner, always a treat to have on the show. He was a little fiery this week, though. Wanted to throw supply management out there. Wanted to talk about StatsCan and throw the blame on you farmers for not reporting the right numbers. So a little spicy one from Chuck here in July. That's good. We love having him on the show. All right. So for eating your veggies this week, we're in the month of July now. And so I want you to focus on a couple of different things. I think number one, let's put the big, beautiful put here is number one on canola. If you're a canola grower in the prairies, go and figure this out. I think you're doing yourself just giving yourself a huge advantage by going to figure out this strategy. All right. Talk to an expert. By golly gee, don't listen to me. I'm an idiot in a garage studio behind a microphone. But go speak to an expert and see what they got to tell you there. So number one, do that. Number two, I want you to assess your crop. I know I've been harping on this, but I honestly, folks, if you're sitting here putting plus signs on your yield expectations, you better be, sharpening up your marketing skills here. All right. I'm not saying, I know Southwest Saskatchewan's dry and Southern Alberta, parts of Southern Alberta are dry and it's brutal. And it's tough to see. It's not everywhere. Some of the guys in the Peace region suffering, even just north of me here too. And even on the farm, it's not perfect. But just take a look at that crop. Are you doing a plus or a minus when it comes to your yield expectations? And then planning around with that, planning your harvest plan, your delivery plan, your equipment plan, all that stuff. And then here I had, update your cost of production, which again comes in. Are you going to be spraying a bunch of fungicide? What's that do to your costs? If you have time here, you have a couple of weeks where it's a little quieter towards the end of July, just updating that cost of production, seeing what you've got from a margin opportunity and setting yourself up here for harvest time. So I think that was 3 for eating your veggies for this week. So let's leave it with that. All right, folks, it was a warm one in the studio here for episode 83. So thanks for hanging out the first week of July. I know we kind of flip-flopped and talked lots about production this week and things like that. I understand, folks, that you don't have to travel far to get some variability in the fields and in the crops. So I think we got a bit of a light crop coming. I think it got a lot better second half of June here, but we also need to see a little more rain yet in July to finish this thing off. So thanks for hanging out. If, share this episode with a friend, subscribe on YouTube. We certainly appreciate that. If you have any questions for the show, if you want me to cover certain commodities, we've been a little bit light on the specialty crop talk. So I'm going to try to fire that up a bit more here over the next days and weeks, and see if we can dive into peas and lentils and some of the feed grains here as well. So look forward to that in the next few episodes. Yeah, for episode 83, my name's Ryan. I'm going to finish my lemonade here and go and cool down after a nice hot recording session in the studio. Take care. I'm out.